This is interesting. I'm trying out a ring light stand that I got at, I think I got it at Walmart like 2 months ago. Just kind of shows how time has been kind of passing for me. And I feel like it's a, I feel like it's like I'm a YouTuber or a blogger from the 2010s. I'm not wearing my glasses because the ring light reflects in the lenses, but interesting. Especially just the way everything is framed, and I'm in my bedroom. It's kind of funny. It just makes me think about like the old school style of vlogging and content creation, I guess. But now I'm just talking to a camera again, just like I used to on the old swerving days. I recorded a new one of those, but kind of to be honest, I moved the footage over to my computer, and there was some issue. I don't know if it was a storage issue or something, but there was some issue when I was trying to export it through Premiere Pro, I think I was using. And honestly, just I hit the roadblock with it and said there was some kind of issue. I didn't even look into it. I just said, all right, screw it, forget it. I'll work on it later. And then like a month and a half went by, so just how life's been going. And I don't mean that in a bad way. That's not like, oh, woe is me, time is moving by too fast. I mean that more like time is just moving by really quickly. Kind of just losing track of it, to be honest. Yeah, I'm almost, I'm going to be three quarters of the way done with this current term of school, so that's, you know, it's flying by. 2 classes this term. I was doing a lot of schoolwork today because I fell behind, and admittedly, I mean, it was me being delusional, thinking I was going to get any schoolwork done at PAX. Like, those are long days, fun days, amazing days. I love doing it. But you know, wake up, even staying at a hotel across the street, like wake up 7:30, get ready, gotta be there for 8:30, and being on the floor until about 7 p.m. Hour lunch, you know, it's fine. They're very encouraging of us taking breaks and drinking water and resting, which is great. And you should do that normally. But yeah, no, I mean, it was crazy of me to assume that by the time I was done, first of all, I'd be exhausted. Second of all, then I gotta eat dinner, you know. And so by the time dinner would be done, and you know, it's a social thing. I want to go hang out with people, get to know them more, the other enforcers. And yeah, I mean, by the time we're done, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like it was an insane idea that I was going to get any schoolwork done while I was there. So that was 5 days where I just didn't do anything school related. And I tried to do stuff before that, and I did, but now I got caught up on all my history work today. I have literature work that I need to get caught up on, and I did start doing that today. I got my journal done, I got my discussion post done. I have another milestone thing to do, and then I have another journal thing to do, and then I have 3 assignments that I need to get done. Realistically, I'm probably going to get 1 more of them done today, and then I'm going to try to do the other ones. Well, I'm going to do the other ones next week, on top of the actual schoolwork for next week. And you know, I'll send a nice email to my professors to just let them know, explain the situation, and let them know. Obviously, I'll take whatever grade I get, but I'm hoping that they, you know, just deduct points and grade it anyway. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I ended up with an A in the last class, so I'm kind of hoping they take pity on me. But I'm also a tall, cis white man, so I mean, how much pity, you know, do I really deserve? You know? Yeah, I don't even know what this is. I just wanted to talk. I wanted to really just test out the ring light, and then just started talking. So now I'm having fun just sitting here talking, because that's what I do. Yeah, look at this, Tribeca. That was a fun day. I want to go back. It was fun when Tom and I went to Tribeca. He had a film that he worked on. That was cool. At the festival, and yeah, it was an awesome time. Long day though, because I was like after work, I get out of work at 3:30. I got home. He picked me up. We drove to New York. I might have got out of work early that day, but we drove to New York because the film was at like 7 or 8 or something like that. 7 maybe. And then drove back. He drove, and then drove back. And I think I got back around like midnight, 1 a.m., something like that. Yeah, bless him. I mean, that was crazy. The only reason I agreed to go is because he said he would drive. There was no way I was driving that. Yeah, that was fun. I'd like to go again. It'd be cool to have something there ourselves. That's one thing I definitely need to start prioritizing and focusing on. School's made it kind of hard. Life's made it kind of hard, but one thing I would like to start prioritizing and working on more is the film stuff, the acting stuff. I mean, honestly, I got the ring light for this type of thing, but also I was going to start doing movie reviews. I might still do that. I think that'd be fun. I do, every once in a while I'll post on Letterboxd, but I think it'd be kind of fun to go back to the old school style of like YouTube film reviews. Just talking about my thoughts on it, I guess. But again, like, I'm just throwing my stuff out into a void of other people who look just like me. So I don't know. Like, I guess I'd have to just have original thoughts, but even the idea of manufactured original thoughts is just stupid. So, what else? Yeah, I need to start the other thing with the ring light is I wanted to start doing self-tapes, because I have to start doing self-tapes if I really want to, like, take this seriously. And I need to reach out to my photography friends about photo shoots, because I wanted to do headshots so I can like submit stuff to casting agencies as well, because it makes sense to start doing that now. I mean, it's April already, but it would make sense to start doing that now and see if I can get any background work while I'm here, because I'm going to be, originally I was going to be moving in January, but now I'm going to be moving in probably like April or May of next year. Give myself a couple more months. I think January, I think now is around when I'm going to start looking, like, just to see what because like, what, like, I was looking before, like a few months ago, at like realistically like what the average like a rental apartment situation in Los Angeles would be. And like, of course it's expensive everywhere. And like the fun crazy part is like, when I talk to people about it, their first reaction was always like, well, it's like 50 or 50. It's like, because I get half of the reactions are like, oh my God, like, that's amazing. Like, you're going to crush it out there. And I'm like, thank you. Like, that's really endearing to hear, and also like very encouraging. The other half of it's like, it's going to be so expensive out there. You're going to struggle. You're going to have a hard time. I'm like, well, yeah, obviously, but like, I would struggle here. Like, I'm struggling here. Like, obviously I'm in a great situation where, I split rent with someone else and it's great. It's not that, it's more expensive than my rent used to be, but I also lived with 5 people, 6 people, and so living with one person now, my rent is more, but it's less people and it's less cluttered, and it's less chaotic, and it's just, I think over time I just realized it's just not for me. I mean, I knew that wasn't for me. I knew that wasn't, like, living in the community like that is not for me. Living with that many people, love them all, but but I also did know that this was going to be an eventual thing I was going to do, the big move. So, like, conversations I had initially before I moved here, with the bestie, the conversations I had with my bestie, Lil Dog, involved like me knowing I was going to end up living with one other person or by myself at some point, to kind of like a stepping stone, I guess is a way to put it, like a stepping stone to move to a smaller place so that I could eventually move to my own place on the other side of the country. And that's still the plan. So, but it's just like so funny, because like people say, oh, well, it's so expensive out there. I'm like, yeah, but it's expensive here. Like, the city that I moved out of, Worcester, like, rents for studio apartments are like $1,600, $1,800 now, like, which is insane, by the way. It's an insane thing. Worcester is not worth that. I mean, no city is worth that, but like, Worcester is not worth that. New York is super expensive still too, and I know that that could change. I mean, with their new mayor, he's fucking killing it. Love that guy. And yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing over here than it is over there. Like, except over there, I'll be doing what I want to be doing. Like, right now, I don't do what I want to be doing. I do a job. I'm good at it. Pays the bills. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy doing what I do. I do a 40-minute commute, which isn't, like, I know, like, people do farther commutes. People at work that I work with do farther commutes. Still, like, it's like, I used to have a 10 or 15-minute commute. Now it's 45 minutes. And I'm not doing what I'm, like, want to be doing. Everyone, like, so many people that I know, friends of mine and just, like, family and just people in general, like, are all doing what they, like, they're figuring out, like, what they want to be doing. I know what I want to be doing, but they're all kind of, like, locking into what they want to be doing, and they're all, like, like, they're settling into what they want to be doing, and it's just nothing. It's all, like, I've never felt that way. Like, my roommate, one of my best friends, he's starting a business. That's awesome. They're it's an animal hospital, so, like, that's not going anywhere. It's not like a business. It's gonna fail most likely, because it's like, people have pets, they love pets, they need pets to keep them company, give them companionship, and so I think that's a lucrative business. Great idea. He's very good at it, so I'm rooting for him. But, like, I've got friends are just, like, moving into things that they want to be doing, settling down into their lives, and, like, that's just not what I'm not at that point. Like, I feel like I've wasted so much time trying to figure out where I want to end up and what I want to be doing, when I knew when I was in high school what I wanted to be doing. I left high school and I knew I wanted to act. I wanted to be in movies. I wanted to be in shows. I wanted to act. I love theater. I just love acting. I think it's fun. Like, pretending to be someone else, reading a script, getting to, like, play around with dialogue and, like, interpretations of a character, I think, are so fun. I love movies. I love writing. Like, I know, and I just love, like, creating, So, like, I knew what I want to be doing, and, like, honestly, when I left high school, like, I almost fell for one of those, like, acting class scams. Like, acting classes are definitely real. Obviously, I'm not saying they're not, but there was, like, one in, like, Newton, Massachusetts, who was like, "Oh yeah, like, come by. We'll see what we can do with you." And I did, and they put me in, like, the B tier. Like, they were like, "Oh yeah, it's A, B, and C." Like, you were in B, like, high B, so, like, you're close. But, and at the time, I wasn't confident. I wasn't, like, I didn't know what I know now, and, like, I went into it overthinking it, because it was like a here, read this ad read type thing for, like, Pepsi or whatever, and it was like, try it out, and then they rated me how they did, and they were like, well, now, like, we can get you to A, and we'll build you a portfolio, and, I was like 19, so I was like, oh, this sounds great, this is awesome. And they're like, they're like, we need like $1,500, and I was like, I don't have that. And that's when I know immediately I knew it was like, I was like, no, this is a scam. I'm not doing this. And I brought it up with my dad, but, like, not in a way that's like, hey, we should do this. It was more like, yeah, I went to this thing and they wanted all this money, so it's a scam. And he was like, yeah, no, God, no. I was like, yeah, we don't have that. We're poor. We're poor. I grew up in a basement apartment with my dad. We shared our bedroom for 7 years. Like, I did not grow up with money. We did not have money. I mean, like, it could have been worse. I could have been homeless. I could have been orphaned. I could have been, like, these are things that people deal with, and it's things that really suck. So, I mean, I'm grateful to have what I have. And I'm grateful for everything my dad's done for me, but, I didn't grow up with a lot. I and I think that's that with my unmedicated ADHD until now, so, like, the last year and a half, definitely had a big influence on why I have silly objects and items, and I had a spending problem for a while. Now I just don't value material items as much, which is great. Now it's just like tattoos. But even that, I've been kind of like pumping the brakes on, because like I have a lot of them, and I'm kind of getting to that point where like I'm running out of space, and like, and I love them. I think they're, I love, and like flash sales come up, I'm probably still gonna get more, but it's now becoming more like selective and more like I don't need any more. Like I already have like so many that I love. I mean, I have all this empty space, and I do want to fill it, but it's not really a priority of mine, Yeah, I mean, school is, and writing is, and just spending time with people who are important to me while I can is, because the harsh reality is, and I know this, and I've talked about this, and I'm coming to terms with, is that when I move, like, I'm setting myself up to be there for at least a year. The idea is to have enough money put aside, and I know, boomers and just financial people are going to tell me it's a horrible idea, because but there's not a lot of money in it. So the idea is that when I leave work next year, I'm going to take my 401k, and I'm going to use that to as a safety net, and to use that to have my rent covered for a year. I'm not retiring anytime soon. I'm 28, and like my retirement fund is a joke. Like, it's not enough. There's not a lot of money in it, and like the state of the world, like we're probably not even gonna have retirement accounts. The world might not even last. So like, fuck it. I don't care. Like life is a joke. Like, not in a bad way. I don't mean that in like a nihilist way. I mean that in like we're all just like meat sacks that we just exist. We're born, we live, we die. There's nothing else out there for us. There's no grand plan. There's no God. There's no religion. It's all made up. We were a single cell organism that eventually evolved into something that could walk, and then we shed most of the hair from our when we were primates, primitive bodies, and then we developed society. It's all performative. It's all made up. It's all social constructs. Like, you can explain everything that exists in the world has an explanation. It was created at some point. Like, I'm not here to sit here and argue about whether or not like divine intervention or the existence of God. Like, I'm not interested. Life is short. We're all living it. We're all stuck living it. So we might as well do what makes us happy. And my life plan now involves me taking that money and moving to Los Angeles. And yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna go live my life. And if I fail, I fail. If I fail, I come home. My dad lives in Vermont. If I fail, I'm sure, he and I have talked. I can always come back home, live with him, or figure out, if, I've got a support system behind me, so I'm not really that worried. And I can say that. I can say that I have a support system behind me, and I know that a lot of people can't say that, and that sucks. But yeah, so that's a plan next year. The point about what I was saying there was, the harsh reality is that when I leave, there is a good chance I don't come back. There's a good chance. It's possible. Like, think about it. I go out to LA. One of the things that I feel like people struggle with the most when it comes to auditioning and acting, and I'm not saying that I'm going to be amazing. I have a lot of work that I need to do. I've spent a lot of time soul searching on it, and I have a lot of work that I need to do when it comes to this. But I feel like people go into acting as a profession and they fail because they let it get to them. And I'm not saying that I won't, but I think they take it too seriously. And I genuinely mean that. I think that people go into auditions and they overhype themselves, they oversell themselves, and they get in their own head, and people don't seem to like recognize or realize that when a film is being written, and maybe it's because I'm going into it as acting, but also as by the time I'm done with my degree, I will have a degree in screenwriting as well. I think that people don't realize that when you write something, or when you are making a film, there is a creative vision that exists, that the screenwriter has, that the director has, and not every actor is going to fit the vision that they have for this character or for this role. You can be an amazing. There are actors out there who are superstars. They're famous. They're super popular. They're, you know, sometimes they change. They'll change the creative direction of a project because they landed a specific actor. But generally, like there are actors. There are Goslings. There are Pedro Pascals. There are even Meryl Streep. She's the GOAT, who didn't get roles that they auditioned for because they weren't like what they envisioned when they wrote the film and they set out to create the film. And I think that's one thing that people seem to forget. And also, like, you just gotta have fun with it. Like, you gotta go in, you gotta just like not, shake off the nerves, and you gotta go into it and you gotta have fun with it. And if you get in, then that's it. You also have to be marketable as a person. And I think that's the other thing that people seem to forget or struggle with, is that when you go out and you audition for stuff and let's say you get a role, great. If you're like and like there are actors who are like kind of like they're like a little recluse, and that's fine, but it's a lot harder to be a successful actor in that industry, in any industry, if you are antisocial and you are like, you prefer, do I like staying at home? I used to love going out. I used to have a job I loved. I used to love going out. I still like to dance. I still like to go out, but I have a limit now. Or like I'll go out and depending on what the event is, I might just be like, nah, I gotta go home. Like when I was at PAX, I went to a Twitch event. It was pretty cool. It was a Twitch party that I got to go to because I stream on Twitch. And I mean, I think even if you just like are Twitch, you have a Twitch account, you could have gotten a ticket. It was like a $15 fee, whatever, an entry fee, like whatever. It was fun. It was cool. But after like not even an hour, I was ready to go back to the hotel room. I don't know if that's because I am just like done with like the clubbing lifestyle, because I do love to dance still. I mean, I don't drink anymore. I stopped drinking in July of last year. I've even kind of like taken a step back on marijuana too, and cannabis, which is like, I mean, every once in a while I'll still do an edible or something, but honestly, like I don't even do that anymore, to be honest, like as much. I think it's just like it makes me feel sluggish in the morning afterwards, and also I just don't get anything done. I'm like, I've kind of been like, I need to get so much done that I just don't have. I'm like, it just feels like a waste. Every once in a while, a nice little relaxing night is nice though, but I think that, so you got to be social. You got to be, you have to be able to put yourself out there, but you also have to be social. You have to be marketable. You have to be likable. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people who want to be actors and actresses and just like in general, like don't have. And that's my personal opinion. I could be wrong with that. I just think that that's the reality. Like when I go on, when I go on a Reddit, or on Threads, or when I go on the internet, let me just push my imaginary glasses up. I don't know, it's just like the tone in which people talk about like acting and feeling actor burnout, and talk about like, oh, am I going to be successful in my career? And it's like the way that they word it and the way that they respond to people's like reaction, or they respond to people's responses, make me feel like they aren't like social people, or that they don't like understand that part of it. And like, yeah, like you have to be a socialite. You basically like you want to be an actor, and I think a lot of people just want to do it because they're like, there's money involved, and like that just sounds cool. And I'm like, yeah, like in like respect to the people who like actually believe in the craft, like I like admittedly, like every once in a while I do have like, I wouldn't call it, they're not like delusions of grandeur, but they kind of are, where it's like, yeah, like it'd be cool to like not ever have to worry about financial stuff again, and to be a big name, and to like have my movies, and to win an Oscar one day. That'd be cool. But like the reality is, like acting as an art form is just so interesting to me. Like people like to go to the movies as a form of escape from like their everyday lives, and film film is more accessible. I mean, reading is really cool. Reading is something that I feel like as a society we don't do as much anymore. And I'm like, I think I've seen kind of like a return to form on that, where people are starting to read more, which is awesome, myself included. But I feel as if film is a lot more accessible because it's visual. You know, you get to see it, and it's a lot more entertaining that way. Especially in like an era where everyone is like glued to their phones, and like motion pictures as a whole. I feel, you know, like 100 years ago, we were just coming out with film. You know, like, and it was it was really fucking cool. I swore, it was just really cool. And it still is. I think cinema is like a technical feat. And I just love the idea of making things that can touch people and can make them feel things. I've been watching Shrinking on Apple TV. Love the show. And I'm saying a lot. There's the penultimate episode of this season. So there's one more episode this season. It's just like, it's an episode, it's only like 35 minutes long, but within that episode, I was feeling things like sadness and immense joy, and also grief, and just like guilt, but not really guilt. I don't know, it's not guilt, but like secondhand guilt almost. I felt so many things watching that episode, and I'm very excited for the season finale. But like, that's my point, is like I want to make things, and I want to be a part of things that can touch people emotionally, and like, you know, make them feel things and maybe change their mind on things. You know, I think film can open people's eyes to new perspectives and new thought processes and new ideas, and I think that's really important. So that's another part of it that I definitely want to like explore. Yeah, I mean, would it be sick to play a Marvel superhero or character? Yeah, of course it would. Look at my nerddom. Of course it would. Like, if they're trying to cast an Eddie Brock, let me go. Like, I got the fucking muscle. I got the muscle. I'm still working on it, but like, damn, I'll go play Eddie Brock. I'll go kill Spider-Man, my favorite hero of all time. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to be a superstar. Of course it would. I love attention. I grew up not getting enough attention, and now I love attention. That's why I post online. I think part of the reason why I became a Twitch streamer and I started posting stuff online in general was because I like attention so much. I love posting on Instagram and getting likes and seeing little heart reactions. Of course I do. Look at me. I love attention. I'm an egomaniac for it. I know this about myself. I'm not hiding that part about myself. So that'd be great. Paparazzi want to follow me around and be like, what's up, beautiful? Call a male paparazzi beautiful and see if he blushes. And they'll be like, get out of my face, go home. Like, go kiss your wife for me, or something like that. Go say something crazy. Yeah, honestly, like, this whole move thing has been great, because there was a weekend in December. I've opened up a little bit about this, but I think I did it with a friend. Yeah, I've talked to a couple friends about it, but I think the one time I talked about it more publicly was on a Twitch stream, and I don't think I saved the VOD, so whoops. Yeah, I had a weekend in December that was just kind of like, I was hitting a low point. I couldn't figure out what was going on in my head. I mean, honestly, like, this is gonna sound so crazy, but like, if I don't shower for a couple of days, like, if something happens and I just like accidentally like miss a shower or two, it just puts me in such a negative headspace, and it's kind of crazy. It makes me feel like, yeah, actually, I don't even know how it makes me feel, to be honest, to explain it, but it just makes me feel off, because then, like, as soon as I like get back to my routine, I get all cleaned up, I feel great. So I was like, is this part of it? Is this what's happening? Because I haven't showered in a couple days, and I mean, I'm not quick to call it, like, I mean, I guess maybe you could call it like I was like having a depressed weekend, but like, depression isn't something that I've ever really like struggled with or dealt with. General anxiety, yes. ADHD, yes. Recently, haven't been diagnosed, but recently, I'm like I'm pretty goddamn sure that that I'm also autistic, and that's not in like a, oh, I just want to be quirky because everyone else is doing it and it sounds fun. No, it's more like, if I get off of my routine, it severely impacts my mental. Including for like food, like I eat the same thing like 5 to 6 nights a week. Every day, I eat a cereal cup, bagel. A few hours later, mac and cheese cup with a protein bar. Dinner, I eat my meal prep. It's the same thing every week. I make the same thing. And I love it. I love it. I'm not like, oh God, I gotta eat that again. I'm like, no, I'm like, let's go. I've been eating this for a year and a half. Let's go. And also the fact that I'm like, it's like I almost like hyperfixate on it. Like I hyperfixate on like the fact that I'm like constantly, it's like not nervous about or anxious about, but I'm constantly questioning, like, because I don't want like stolen valor, you know. I don't want it to be like stolen valor, like, oh, he's just calling himself autistic even though he's not really. He hasn't been diagnosed. I just don't see the point, you know. Like I don't see the point getting diagnosed at this point. It just seems kind of like a waste of time and money. Like I'm 28. Like they're gonna tell me to do exactly what I'm doing. They're gonna say, you have figured out a routine and a lifestyle that works for you. Good job. What are they? They're not gonna tell me anything different. There's no medication. There's no like secret like thing to do, treatment. Like yeah, there are therapies, sure, but I've managed this far, and like I'm a generally happy person. So what are they gonna do? They're not gonna tell me anything different. So why spend all the money and the time? I was doing some research and I found out there's some states that simply won't resuscitate you if they find out, or they look at your medical record and they find out you have autism. They just will let you die. Isn't that cool? Why would I ever go to those states? I don't know. But knowing my luck, you never know. I probably would, and then I'd die. So that's not a thing that I want to do. I'm not interested in that, you know? And also, like, there are licenses that you can't get. Like, you can't, not like I ever need to, but, like, I couldn't go get a pilot's license if I had autism diagnosed. I can't go get, there's, like, things in life that I wouldn't be able to do, and, like, certifications I wouldn't be able to get, and I'd be limiting myself for having that on my record. So why would I want to do it? But, like, there's a lot of things that make me think that I'm, because like I took a couple online tests. I know that doesn't say much, but you know, like they're the tests. There were tests that like ask a lot of the same questions that they ask like on the actual like exam, like the actual like testing program that they do. And I tested very high. Tested pretty high, or like pretty. I tested in the zone that was like, yeah, you most likely got it. And I was like, nice. I know ADHD and autism kind of go hand, like they can be like misdiagnosed for one another a lot. So I just think I got them both. Because like I also have a hard time struggling. Like I struggle with like feeling and understanding people's emotions a lot, and I have to constantly remind myself that like people don't think the same way I do. I'm more blunt than I want to be. I don't mean to be. You know, like my quick answer is always just like so like harsh, blunt. I have to like hold it in sometimes because I'm like, yeah, don't say that. That's crazy. That would be like a crazy thing to say right now. But also to circle it back to what I was kind of talking about earlier with like my move is like, I think this is an ADHD thing as far as I know, but object permanence is a thing that people with ADHD, myself included, struggle with. An item that I might own or have, I might just forget it exists for like a year and be like, oh my God, that's right, I have this thing that I need to do, or this thing that I have, awesome. So if I like put down a book, I might not pick it up for 2 years. It's possible. The problem is sometimes we have this with people as well. And it sucks because I'll feel guilty sometimes when months will go by and I'll remember that I haven't spoken to a specific person. And it's like, sure, it is a two-way street. That person could also reach out to me. But like, the reality is, yeah, I also could reach out to that person. So like, my example that I would use is like my father, right? Love my dad. There was like a 2-month period. It was like after Christmas. I think it was February. Like, I went up to his house in Vermont around Christmas, and I think it was after that. I think it was like February when I saw and spoke to him again, because he reached out to me. And it's not like I have nothing against him. I love him. It's just I can't help it. I am who I am. And other things come up, and my life has a lot going on. And next thing you know, people don't exist to me, kind of. And I do worry that when I move, that's whoa. I don't know what the hell that was. I do worry that when I move, that's gonna happen with people. So I'm trying to remind other people know now, like, don't let me disappear. Reach out to me, talk to me, contact me. Because if you don't, chances are I'm gonna forget you exist. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's not like I'm not doing it intentionally. I'm not trying to do it intentionally. So like, that's one thing that I struggle with. And yeah, so that's one thing that I'm dealing with. But then it also, like, that paired up with like the fact that like I don't understand how people feel sometimes. Most of the time I can like sense something's wrong, and I can like tell when like a vibe has changed in a room and when someone's upset about something, but I can't tell what it is. And I need people to be communicative with me about what it is and about what they're dealing with or struggling with, because if they don't, I'm just going to keep going on about my day, and I'm just not going to care. Like, I'm just not going to think about it. But like, when people open up to me about things, it's like I want to be there for them and I want to help them, but I often feel robotic in my responses, because it almost feels like I'm tapping into like an internet data for like a database. Like I'm like here, blah, 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 here is my answer to the problem, rather than like, feeling compassion for the situation, or trying to, it's more like, here's what my immediate answer or response is to that thing, and now I'm going to sit here and just be awkward because I don't know what else to do. I don't feel how you feel. I have a hard time with that, and I want to help people. So that's one thing that I struggle with. Being able to read people's face cards is so difficult sometimes. And it makes dating so difficult. Like, when I go out, and I think I mistook this for a long time. I used to think, and I've been guilty of this, where I would say like, oh, I think that person was flirting with me. They must be flirting with me. Wrong. They're just being friendly. And it's not just me being full of myself. I for a long time I thought I was like, maybe I'm just full of myself. I think I am, definitely. Not for this, for other reasons. I think very highly of myself. Sometimes, a lot of the time, and that's a great thing, but sometimes I need to be humbled, But what I struggle with the most is when I would go out and meet people and be what I think is being flirted with, and they're just being nice. I'm like, yeah, I think that person likes me. I think they've got a crush on me. It's like, no, you misread that situation, and thankfully I never acted on it. It was never like, I'm gonna go float back. I'd be like, too anxious for it. Well, then I started thinking, they're not flirting with me, they're just being friendly. And that's good. It's good that I did that, because then I didn't make a fool of myself. However, when people have been flirting with me, I can't tell. I think it's there are situations where I have absolutely been flirted with, because after the fact someone will be like, that's what was happening. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. I just need clear communication. I need things to be told to me so clear. I'm not going to guess. I can't read minds. I'm not even going to try. So that's been very helpful. Because I spent a lot of time last year thinking, towards the end of the year, that maybe I was the problem. I was thinking that if you were looking at it statistically, objectively, I'm the problem. I'm like, yeah, I met 5 girls last year, went on dates with them, thought things were going well, and ghosted. And I was like, damn, that sucks. I must be the problem. I'm the problem. I'm the constant here. I'm the only constant variable here. And like I am the problem, but I don't think it's not like anything I did wrong necessarily. And now I know to be more aware of it, I guess. Like I didn't hurt anybody. It was more just like I have this unfortunate ability to, when I meet people, I just kind of like act and treat people like I have known them forever. Like I can talk to someone like I've known them forever. And I think that's an amazing skill. I think that's a great skill. People have said this about me, and that's great. There's my ego going again. And I think that'll be very helpful when I move and when I go try to make it as an actor in Hollywood. But the problem is when it comes to just everyday life and dating in general and just making new friendships, people think I'm fucking crazy. They must think like, oh, like he's too familiar all of a sudden. Like that's a red flag. It's like, well, it's like, damn, that sucks, because it's like, I can understand for a neurotypical person, yes, that is a red flag. I'm just trying to, like, I just am friendly, and I don't know, like, I just can't do the basic, like, you know, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite song? It's like, no, I would rather ask you, like, what album do you put on when you're having a hard day and you just need to cry? I want to know stuff like that. I want to know more deep stuff. I want to know deeper stuff, but also, like, I don't know. I just feel like I know everybody, and I feel like I interact with people like I know, like I've known them forever, and the people, you know, are like, oh, he's too familiar. He's gotten familiar way too fast. Red flag, you know. So I think I definitely have to meet someone in person, because these are all people I met on apps, and it just doesn't work. And which is, like, crazy, because I feel like I'm, like, ill-equipped to use these apps, even though these, like, apps are generally, for a long time I frowned upon them. Like, not I used them, but I was like, oh, like, I'm gonna meet someone and fall in love with someone I met on a dating app. Like, that's crazy. It's the times. It's the new times, and there's nothing wrong with dating apps whatsoever. Well, that's not okay. There's nothing wrong with using them. The apps are definitely predatory, and they are designed to sell you their product and to get money out of you and to push ads on you. And yes, they are absolutely predatory. But there's nothing wrong with using them. Unless you're using them to harm people, then go fuck yourself. But, like, you would think for neurodiverse people, apps would be great, because if you go on Hinge and in your profile you say something like, I am autistic and this is what I need in a relationship, people are going to read your profile, and ideally, if you market yourself correctly, or you identify yourself correctly, I should say, market is not the right word, people would see it and go, oh yeah, like, that's cool, like, that's perfect, I understand. You get to know someone, you know, that way. Great. For me, I feel like I'm ill-equipped in this, because even if I say that, because I have said that, and I have put that on my profile, still get ghosted. People still don't. It's like, I posted something, I commented about this on Threads today, because someone had said something about, like, why do people, like, everyone wants to, like, be with or date, like, an autistic person. I'm like, it's because we're direct, and we're upfront, and we're fun, but they don't want the consequences which do come with it, which is being spacey and being blunt and saying things and having tones that we don't mean to sometimes, and saying things that we don't mean, or saying things that it's saying things that we do mean, but without, like, any nuance, or, like, being able to hide it, or, like, be, like, thoughtful in what we're saying. It's more like, I will say something out loud and be like, oh, damn it, like, that's not what I meant. Or, like, this is what I meant, but, like, I shouldn't have said it that way. They don't want to deal with the consequences, or, like, the downsides of it. They just want to deal with the fun, positive sides of it. And it's fucked, and it's silly, and actually just kind of gross, to be honest. But it's, like, hard for me to say that, because I don't even know, without having an official diagnosis, it's, like, hard for me to even, like, take that or claim that. But, like, I don't know, like, I know many people have been like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I drive out of my way, like, 20 minutes when I go grocery shopping, to go to a secondary store so I can get specific mac and cheese cups, because if I don't have them, I have a bad day. Crazy. And, like, I don't know, like, the things that I hyperfixate on, the fact that I've been thinking about this for months, I feel like is a huge flag to be like, yeah, he's got it. Where I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm constantly researching things and being like, do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? Because I don't want to be, like I said, I don't want to be virtue. I don't want to be stealing valor or being like, oh yeah, like I'm autistic, and it's like, no, you're not. You're just like, this is what's going on in your head. And like, I don't want to misrepresent myself, and I don't want to misrepresent the community of people who have been diagnosed. You know what I mean? So, okay, this is what my face is gonna look like when I get rid of all the face fat. Look how fucking... No, it's not necessarily what I'll look like, but like, look at... yeah, but dating has been definitely difficult. I deleted my apps like a month ago. That's been kind of nice. Because I mean, the other part of that is, I guess there were like two schools of thought I was going through. I've been using that phrase a lot, but there's like two different like avenues that I was thinking about this in. One was that, yeah, I don't really want to date anybody until I move because it just seems irresponsible. It seems irresponsible because, like, again, I mean, I don't want to think too highly of myself, but I do think pretty highly of myself. If I started dating someone, things are going really well, right? Let's just say that. I've been told I'm a pretty damn good boyfriend. Whatever. I know this about me. I'm moving. I'm not looking to have that changed. I'm not looking to have that affected in any way. So, like, it just seems irresponsible to be like, yeah, let me start dating someone and let me, like, develop a relationship with someone and then be like, bye. And that's why, like, on apps, I'd be like, short-term, open to long, or just short-term. People are like, what does short-term mean? I'm like, well, this is what it means. And then they just lose interest. I'm like, it's fine. Cool. But then the other side of it is, yeah, like, would it be kind of dope to, like, meet someone special, fall in love, and there's like almost like there's like a romantic aspect to the idea of meeting someone and then moving across the country with them. And generally it's like, I feel like people usually do that after like being together for a long time or like a couple years. This would be like, hey, we've been together a year, I'm moving, come with me. I would never want to ask someone that. I'd be way too anxious to ask someone that, because what if we, and not like that I'd be planning on or plotting to fail, but like, what if we moved and then like, unless like this, unless she had a plan, good for, love a girl with a plan, to like, we move out there and all of a sudden it's like, well, things don't work out. And now we're both living out there, we're stuck together. Or we're out there together. No, that's not how I operate. It's not how I live my life. Like, I would never actively date someone that I didn't think I could be friends with afterwards. I'm just not a piece of shit. I don't think that, and I don't mean, no, I do mean that. I'm not, like, I would be like, I am reasonable enough, and I am sympathetic enough and compassionate enough that, just like my last relationship, things didn't work out. No hard feeling. Like, we can still be friends afterwards. We can have a relationship afterwards. It doesn't need to be like, cut you out of my life forever. I don't view dating like a waste like that. Like, I don't think, oh, I dated someone for a year, we broke up, it was a waste of my time. I'm like, no, it just means that I spent a year learning about myself and learning about someone else and figured out what does and what doesn't work in my life and what I need in a relationship. So like, yeah, we'd figure it out. But I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm looking to date someone. Because then, like, yeah, what if I meet someone and I fall in love and I'm like, wow, this person is perfect for me, like super attractive to me, like, because everyone is attracted to different things. And I was like, I love this person, I want to be around this person all the time. In a year, I'm moving. I'm not gonna have that altered. And if she's like, I'm not gonna move. I don't want to move. I don't want to live there. And then I'm like, damn, okay, that sucks, and that's fine. I mean, like, I can handle as much as I say that I can handle a heartbreak. Especially because it's like, this is my life. I'm gonna go live my life. But it has been a little easier knowing, because I'm not actively seeking. You know, I'm not like, oh, I need to go dates. Also, I feel like we live in a culture where everyone is so dependent on one another. Like everyone's so dependent on like finding their love, their true love. And I'm like, I'm like, yeah, it'd be great to be dating someone and fall in love with someone and to build a life with someone. That'd be awesome. But like, it's also just as awesome to do that by yourself. Being single, I have no problems being single. Do I have nights? Yes, where I feel lonely and I feel like it would be great to cuddle up with somebody and watch a movie or talk about my day. Sure. But for the most part, like my schedule is controlled by only me. I don't have to answer to anybody else. I don't have any familial responsibilities that I need to worry about. I don't have to have someone else control my schedule, which I already said. But so it's kind of goated, kind of ideal for me, to be honest, right now. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. If I was starting to see someone, I'd probably be like, yeah, like 2 or 3 days a week. I wouldn't want to be like, oh yeah, I need to see this person every day. No, it's not my speed right now. I'm too busy with schoolwork and with the gym and with work and kickball season coming up, and yeah. So I guess ultimately, like, it's for the best. And ever since I got off the apps, I have felt mentally better. I have felt like a lot better about it. Like I felt like on the apps, they just depress me. Like I go on the apps and I don't get matches, and if I do get matches, it's like uninteresting conversation about like whatever bullshit, like stupid ass questions that like, well, and also like the thing is like I can ask interesting questions and I can lead the conversation, but then I get like one word responses and I'm like, do you just don't want to talk a bit to me? Like, am I like an option for you? I know you've got like 20 other guys in your DMs. I don't want to, no, I'm good. I don't want to be like competing for your interest to be like, oh yeah, like 20 other people are talking to you and saying stuff and everyone's throwing lines at you. No, I'm not. I'm good. I can't do any of this. I'm 28. I don't want to do any of this bullshit. I'm not trying to compete for your love. I'm like, I would, if we meet somewhere at a bar or outside or just an event and we hit it off, great, that's awesome. Like, like I can get your vibe, we get each other's vibes. But like meeting someone, I don't know, it's just like the apps. No, I'm good. And I've said that before, and then I go back to them, but I think this time it's going to be, at least for now, like this time it's going to stick. I'm good. I'd rather just like focus on myself and live my own life and do my own thing, be the master of my own destiny and my own fate for a while before I start thinking about anything like that. And it has made it easier. I mean, it's not costing me any money. I don't have to worry about planning dates. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I'm like, nope, I'll just go home, go to the gym, go to work, go to the gym, go home. Sometimes I'll play D&D, do schoolwork. If I have the time, I can play video games. Great. If I don't, it's okay. I still haven't finished Requiem, and Requiem came out a month ago. I'm, working on it, but it's life, But yeah, it's been so that's kind of just where I'm at, I know this was just me testing out my ring light, but then I ended up just talking to the camera for like an hour because I love talking, and I love talking about myself and giving people life updates. And I'm not one to shy away from my own flaws. I'm behind on schoolwork. I'm working on it. Big part of my plan before I move is to finish school. I have comic books that I'm going to start trying to get rid of, like selling. I need to bag and board a bunch of them, but I have like 14 or 15 boxes of comic books that over the spring and summer I want to like get a table at like a flea market or something and start selling them. And same thing with my pop figures. I'm just going to start getting rid of a bunch of stuff and getting my motorcycle on the road, which is great. Did all the paperwork. I just have to print out the form, the application, bring it over there to the R&B on Tuesday and try to get that handled. Trying to get my debts paid to people I owe money to and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just trying to get all my ducks in a row and downsize on everything that I own because I don't want to take it all with me. When I move, like I'm planning on getting a U-Haul trailer and I'm putting my bike in it. I'm putting my bed set, not my mattress, I think, because at that point, it'll be like 6 years since I got that mattress, so I think it'll be time to get a new one. So I'll just do that. I'll get like a Helix or something comfortable, and just, you know, have it delivered to wherever I'm moving. But yeah, I want to take my motorcycle, my bed set, like my record player, my computer and desk. But even my desk, like, I might just sell, because like in a perfect world, I end up in a studio apartment or a 1-bedroom apartment in LA, which I am. So one of the things I want to do is I want to join one of those like Facebook groups or whatever for like local housing in LA, and just get an idea, a rough idea, so that like in January I can like actually start seriously looking and like seriously start talking to people about it. All part of the plan. And yeah, the plan is I would love to have a corner desk again. I miss having a corner desk, because I could have a nice big open space. I can have my 2 monitors set up again. I mean, I still do, but I have one of them sideways. I can have them both the normal, because I don't have the room to have them both the normal orientation or like the landscape. So I would love to have the corner desk again, so I can have my streaming set up, and then I can have a setup where I work on like writing stuff and work on just projects in general, magic, deck building, something like that'd be great. Yeah, take my TV, take my, yeah, I mean, I'll have to get a dresser while I'm out there. I don't have a dresser right now because it's all under my, well, actually, no, because I have the same bed. I'll have the same bed. The nice thing is I'm hoping to have even if I end up at a studio, I'm hoping to have a room where I can have my bed oriented slightly different, because right now it's like kind of like kitty cornered, which is fine. But I have, like the drawers underneath my bed, and on one of them is just inaccessible because there's a wall there. So it'd be nice to have access to all 3 of those drawers, and so that'd be cool. But yeah, take my bike, my bed set, my TV, my PC set up. That's pretty much it. And then, you know, my clothes and like whatever movies, books, whatever I still have by then, you know, I'd like to just put in totes, and just, I'd like to have all of it just easily pack it up in a day. I'd be like, yeah, all my books. I'll be like, yeah, like these 2 totes or whatever, 3 totes are books, movies, games. Here are my clothes totes, and my clothes and my bedding. So I'll be like, yeah, like let's say it's 5 totes, done. My PC goes in one. I'll put the PC probably in the same one as my bed set, my bedding. Keep it safe. So I'll be like, boom, it's 1 tote, 6 totes, all my stuff. Great. Then I put my motorcycle and like my bed set, like the, you know, my bed frame. Yeah, you know, it'd just be great to have all my stuff ready to go, and just kind of like, you know, cups, glasses, dishes, whatever, just in 1 tote. And be like, yeah, it's all done. Or totes or boxes. Totes are probably easier, or boxes, whatever. Just be like, boom, it's all done. Pack it up in a day. Put it in a car, or put it in my put it in a trailer, and then have a hitch on my SUV, because I drive a Ford Escape, so it definitely can pull it. But the plan currently is to drive myself there. I have like a 3-week trip mapped out. Take like 3 weeks, drive myself there, and in a perfect world, figure out how to, but I would love to live stream the whole thing. That'd be crazy. Because like I'll be sleeping in my car a lot of it, and like unless things get really bad and I need to stay in a hotel or something. But the idea is to have the back of my car set up so that I can sleep in it easily, and have access to the stuff that I need, clothes, toiletries, whatever, in the trailer. Sleep at Walmart, sleep at Cracker Barrel, sleep at wherever, shower at Planet Fitnesses, go to the gym still, but live stream the whole trip. Be like, yeah, it's a 3-week long live stream, and just kind of do the whole thing. I think that'd be so fun and so unique and so cool. And then end it when I get to Los Angeles, and because I have like a whole trip mapped out, and it's gonna be really fun, I think. But like that's kind of just the plan, you know. And that's one thing I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but I'm finally in a place emotionally that I think it's possible. Because I do understand that when I go out there, it's going to be like a complete reset for me. Like I will have friends back here, obviously, but like going from the East to West Coast, it's a whole new lifestyle. I will have to build a new network of friends, just a new network out there in general. And it'll be easy because like I'm a very social guy. But I think I'm at the point where I can do it. I can handle it, you know? So like yeah, it's important. It's important to know. It's important to feel secure in like my decision to want to do this. And I know that it's the right decision, and it's something that I've talked about for a long time, and what I wanted to do for a long time. So that's definitely gonna happen. But yeah, I should probably wrap this thing up because I think my phone is gonna die soon. But this has been kind of fun, just kind of shooting the shit for an hour. I'm not gonna edit this. I think I like the raw style of just posting this like this. I think that'll be fun. And this will be kind of a fun thing to do every once in a while. Maybe I'll do this like weekly. Sunday nights would be kind of fun to do this, like a reflection of my week. Be like, oh yeah, what did I do this last week? I went to PAX, and then I came home and I recovered from PAX, and then now I've just been spending time getting schoolwork done. And this upcoming week, going to a Celtics game. How exciting! That's awesome. And I'm going to do more schoolwork. And that's pretty much it. So, thanks for listening. If anybody actually watched this whole thing, that's awesome. I don't expect anyone to have actually listened to this whole thing because that'd be fucking crazy. But, you know, I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who supports me. I do. And I'm sure one day I'll look back at this and I'll listen to it and I'll think, oh, that's so crazy and so cringe that he did that. He being me, it's so crazy that I just recorded myself talking to myself for an hour, just like I did with Swervin'. But, like, yeah, I just like talking, and I like to fill people in, and this is kind of the only way I get to do that right now, so, but not really, like, I could, it's just the easiest way for me to do it, but, yeah, I love you guys, and what was the, shit, my squanchlings, no, squanchlings didn't sound good, was it, like, I don't remember, there was a word, squanchlings, was it? No, there was something people were like, oh yeah, call your fans this. I don't remember what it was, but we'll workshop it. But I don't know. It's not super important right now, but yeah, I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll catch you on the flip flop, catch you on the flip flop.